Hey everyone, Shine Sprite Ditto welcoming you to The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. In the last part, we finished up some stuff in Death Mountain before making our way to Zora's River and reaching the Ice Cavern. Now you might be confused, because we've had no story build up. We know nothing of what caused this, we don't know. There's a whole lot of stuff that we don't know. And the first thing that we're going to want to do in the Ice Cavern is pull out our empty bottles, by the way, but we're going to empty all of them. But the thing is this is not the official dungeon. This is not the dungeon from Fire Temple to the next temple. This is a little mini dungeon because there's something for us to get here. It's not going to take us very long. It'll probably just be this part. It's a lot shorter, something more akin to the early child dungeons. We are not going to be in here for very long. So, this is not the next temple, but rather a sort of interlude between temples. So, let us progress through the Ice Cavern. A pretty unique area, all things considered. I think it's often forgotten about or overlooked when discussing Ocarina of Time, and that people just generally, when playing the game, forget that it exists. But again, a part of that is it's so short, and it's between temples, and so it's really easy to just blend in there. But it's not going to take us very long. I think there's only like 2 gold sculptures in this entire dungeon, so... No, 3. There's 3. There's 3. Excuse me? Yet another one of those rooms where we just defeat all the enemies in it, and that opens the way forward. And in this room... Did I go backward? I think I went backwards. Okay, that's gonna happen a lot. It's gonna happen a lot in this dungeon. There's no doors or anything, and we don't have the map or compass. And yes, there is a map and compass for some reason. But we're gonna head this way. I can't believe I let that happen. But to be honest, that's something that happens to me like every single playthrough. At least one room in this dungeon, I go backwards. But at least it was the first one, and hopefully it does not happen again. And we have the introduction of Silver Rupee puzzles. Basically, what this means is that we have this rotating thing in the middle here. If we stand still, we will get hurt by it, as I just showed you. But our goal in this type of room is to collect all the silver rupees that we see. But we're also going to want to go ahead and collect this gold Skulltula while we're at it. I mean, might as well. It's just waiting there, begging to be grabbed. And we have 64, the official Ocarina of Time number. So, the last one is up here. But we have to climb up here and then jump forward to grab it. So, whenever you see silver rupees like that in a room and you see multiple of them just out in the open, the way forward is to just collect all of them. There are going to be more rooms like this in the game, and some of the silver rupees will be hidden. They all just won't be up front like that. But for our first one, that's a good way to introduce you to those type of puzzles. These things are called Freezards. Freezards. What a stupid name. Watch out for its freezing breath. Destroy it completely before it revives. Yep, let's slice it away really fast. And finally, some arrows. I've been needing those ever since we left the Fire Temple. Honestly, ever since we were in the Fire Temple. Now, in this room, there are ice keys, that are probably one of the most annoying enemies in the game, because they will completely freeze you in place, and you have to wait to thaw out. Very obnoxious. Very, very obnoxious. But we have this blue fire here. That is what that is supposed to be. Because me explaining it was not enough. This blue fire, it doesn't seem natural. Maybe you can use it for something. Yes, that is why we cleared out our empty bottles. We are going to want to use all 3 for this blue fire. And let's just go ahead and swing our empty bottle. You can actually buy blue fire in shops, which is odd because I don't think you need it for anything else outside of one thing outside the dungeon that's directly outside it. Because, and you probably will figure out what that is just from us completing this room. I don't want to unequip my empty bottles, but whenever we see the red ice here, it's actually ice that can be thawed out using the fire. A blue fire, that is. So, which blue fire is harder than orange fire. So if you had access to fire like Din's fire, that would not melt this ice, but that would melt normal ice. And we got the dungeon map! Woo! Didn't really need to get that, But I thought I'd go ahead and show that off. And I'm going to go ahead and equip these, just so I don't accidentally... See, unlike fire keys, when they run into you, they do damage and it doesn't stop you. But even so, if they did, their flames go away after they hit you, which means they just become normal keys. The ice keys, when they hit you, do not change. So they'll just constantly freeze you over and over and over and over and over again. But now that we have all 3 empty bottles full of blue fire, we're going to unequip it just so I don't accidentally use it. And we're going to backtrack a little bit, because in the silver rupee room, there was actually an entire wall that was sealed off because of the red ice. So we are going to just go ahead and take care of that. So let us move onward. And there it is. It's really hard to see. It's not as red as some of the other stuff, like the chest for the dungeon map. But we can use that to get rid of this wall. And now we can head through this way. We're honestly almost done with the entire dungeon. Yeah, like I said, very, very short. Very, very short. And okay, I'll go back. I will go back. There's more stuff in this dungeon, and obviously we still have that gold sculptula, but we did not want to go this way right away, but I will go back. And I'm going to get rid of all these guys, but I'm actually going to finish the dungeon before we go back, because as you see by the map, which I pulled up because I was like, yeah, no, I shouldn't be here. But based on the map, that's it. This is literally the whole entire dungeon. Like I said, we are going to get through it in this part. So there's only just a couple of rooms left. And we'll climb up here. We'll grab that. We'll grab that. I can't believe that I had scheduled out, because I write like the stuff that I want to do for the episode, like in my notes, and I had that this would take me 2 parts. I don't know why I ever thought that. This dungeon is so short. I guess I was thinking just in case, because I think I planned on doing like part of it in the last part, but I just decided it would be better to just have it its own part, because we're going to end up messing with the order of parts and doing a bunch of weird progression if I did it that way. So, although this part might sacrifice by being a little bit shorter than some of the other ones. But enough talking about the production of these videos, because nobody cares about that. I mean, nobody really cares about the videos themselves. There's like 1 person watching. Well, let's push that over there. Which, I mean, honestly, I'm just really happy to show off Ocarina of Time and just be playing it. Like, even if nobody watches my videos, I'm glad to produce a comprehensive guide over one of my favorite games, and a game that means a lot to me. And I'm having a lot of fun making these videos, and I think that that's what's important, regardless of if people watch or not, is that I'm having a lot of fun doing this. Although it might not seem like it sometimes, I am having fun. So, yes. I should have gone the other way, because now this is going to feel really sloppy, because we're going to get some story, and I'm going to end up just going back into the Ice Cavern. But yeah, we had another silver rupee room. I feel like silver rupee room bars, literal bars. But I didn't think I needed to explain it. You could kind of just follow what I was doing if you're having trouble. But let us make it through to... That's my fault. I walked right into that. Let us walk into what should be the final room. You froze me right after you froze me! That's not fair! That's so cheap. Alright, we're gonna dispel this fire here. You can see that 3 empty bottles is enough to do all the required stuff. But you guys know me. We're gonna do a little bit more than the required stuff. And we do have a mini-boss, but We're actually going to use Deku Nuts. We haven't used them in a while because we have a white Wolfos, like Wolfos, but white. When it goes to attack us, Deku Nuts, and jump attack. That's all it takes. So what do we get for that triumph, that difficult battle that I don't know how I overcame? The Iron Boots, the bane of every Zelda player's existence. So heavy you can't run, so heavy you can't float. We meet again, Link. If you came here to meet the Zoras, you wasted your time. This is all there is. With one exception, the Zoras are all now sealed under this thick ice sheet, so they are stuck in the ice. I managed to rescue the Zora princess from under the ice, but she left to head for the water temple. This ice is created by an evil curse. The monster in the water temple is the source of the curse. Unless you shut off the source, this ice will never melt. If you have courage enough to confront the danger and save the Zoras, I will teach you the melody that leads to the temple. Time passes. People move. Like a river's flow, it never ends. A childish mind will turn to noble ambition. Young love will become deep affection. The clear water surface reflects growth. Now listen to the serenade of water to reflect upon yourself. You have learned the Serenade of Water. Link, I'll see you again. And just like that, he disappears yet again. Alright, so we have the Serenade of Water. Now, the Serenade of Water will take you immediately to where the Water Temple is. Even if you have already gone to the room where I'm about to go to in the Ice Cavern, you do not want to head to the Water Temple right away. You will find it to be very difficult. Equipping the Iron Boots, which is on our equipment screen, if you're playing the 3DS version, it's an equipable item, which is just so much better in every single way for reasons that you will see later. But we're going to head back in here because there was a room that I did not go to in the next area. So, yeah, you do not want to go ahead and just immediately go to the Water Temple. You want to go and do everything that I'm about to do. And if you... Okay, now that I have some more blue fire, even if you've already been over this way, you want to make sure to have blue fire whenever you leave the dungeon. So, let's get rid of that. This is the area that you want to go to first. I really should have done that. I wasn't thinking, but you definitely want to come here first. And this is actually the only heart piece hidden in a dungeon that you need blue fire to actually have access to. Kind of makes it feel like there's still a heart container here. But I think that's our first in this new container, so that is really nice. And we can see that over by the heart piece, there's our final gold skulltula for the dungeon. So we'll grab that. And this is the compass over here, and more blue fire if you need it, but I do not. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and grab some just in case I mess this this next step up. But let's grab that. Now, we've been in every room in the dungeon. That is everything there is to do here other than grabbing the compass, but I don't care because I don't want to waste time by wasting my blue fire and yada 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 yada. So, let's get out of here. Again, we have the Serenade of Water, but if you remember, King Zora was frozen in that red ice. Now that we have blue fire, let's try using that blue fire to get rid of it so that we can help him. And I always go the correct way when I do. That room is always the one that trips me up. Because all of the entrances do not look the same, but I am not very smart, so I will always mess it up. But anyway, King Zora is trapped in red ice. Now we have blue fire that gets rid of red ice. Let's try seeing if we can help him by using the red fire. The red fire on the blue ice. The blue ice. The blue fire on the red eye. What is wrong with me? Oh my god, I stumble over words too much when I'm recording these. So now that we're in Zora's Fountain, we are going to want to equip the Iron Boots. Yes, believe it or not, what these will do will allow us to sink completely down underwater. But we can't hold our breath. Similar to the fire and the Death Mountain crater, how long you can survive underwater is in coordination to the amount of hearts that you have. I believe that it is also 8 seconds per heart. I might be wrong, but I believe that it's the exact same as the Death Mountain crater. And we have yet another heart piece for sinking below into Zora's Fountain. Very, very, very nice. And let us make our way to saving King Zora. Come on, 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 come So, let us head that way, and let us see if we can... So the glitch is that whenever you are walking up here, and Link jumps off the side, you can actually, like, angle it to where you will jump back, and that activates the loading zone for Lord Jabu Jabu. So that is how you can get in there as an adult. I don't remember the exact specifics of it, but like I said, I'll probably show off some really cool glitches once I actually finish the game. But King Zora, it's been a long time, my friend. At least we know that Princess Ruto is safe. And just like Darunia is inside the water temple trying to fight off the evil. And even though we saved his life, we still have to talk to him here. He won't just let us be next to him like we're buddies. Oh, I've come back to life. Was it you who saved me? Don't be nervous. It's been so long I don't even remember the voice I gave this dude. It looks like you've had a hard time breathing underwater. As an expression of my gratitude, I grant you this tunic. With this, you won't choke underwater. Just like the Gorons, we have the Zora tunic, which in my opinion is the best looking one whenever you're playing on 3DS. But here, I guess it still looks pretty cool. Now the Zora tunic will allow us to breathe underwater. If you try to enter the water temple without getting the Zora tunic from King Zora, which I mean is a lot easier than just coming here, because this is the shop that sells it, and you would still need the blue fire to access the shop anyway. Which, I mean, I guess I'll go ahead and do. Which makes me wonder, is the Zora that's in... the Zora in the shop is the one that's still alive. So that's like the only Zora that's not trapped underwater. Were they all just happening to be swimming whenever Ganondorf decided to freeze over Zora's domain? Oh well. You know what? I have a lot of money, and I'm lazy. So while we're here, I'm just gonna buy a whole stock of arrows and a whole stock of Deku Nuts. So, I mean, might as well. I'm not gonna be using this money for literally anything else in the game. So, now we have the Serenade of Water. Now, we'll be playing that, because it is finally ready to head towards the Water Temple. Which again, this is another one of my favorite Ocarina songs. I think it's really pretty, even though it's really, really short. Warp to Lake Hylia. So it seems the Water Temple has been beneath us this whole time. And before we enter the water temple, because we couldn't just go along with the story, there is another thing for us to do that's actually in Lake Hylia. We can see that it's raining pretty hard. It's a really cool effect in my opinion. But there is this house that's been here this whole time. Even as a child, we did not enter this house. So let's actually do that. Hey, Pona's still here. Nice. That'll actually be pretty nice for when we go to leave. Hello there, son. I'm researching the process of making medicine by mixing Lake Hylia's water with various unusual compounds. Perhaps you've met that old lady from the potion shop? No, we haven't. She was like a student of mine. Ho ho ho. So we have a research lab in Lake Hylia. That's pretty cool. A marine biology lab. Now we'll get a reward for swimming all the way down here, but with our silver scale, we're not quite able to do that. We're just out of reach. But we're going to want to equip the iron boots as well as our hookshot. The hookshot is pretty much the only item that you can use when you're sinking underwater like this. And break open this crate to find yet another gold Skulltula. We are just getting these like crazy. And I've already gained most of my rupees back. Nice. So let's get out of here and finally make our way towards the water temple. I'm very excited because I really love the water temple. I really love it. And a lot of people say it's the hardest dungeon in the game. If you don't know about Zelda or Ocarina of Time, you've heard about the water temple and how difficult it is. I don't so much find it difficult as much as I find it annoying to equip and unequip the iron boots, but I do have a way that is really easy to remember to help you get through this dungeon very easily. And on the 3DS, it's no problem, because you can just equip the iron boots as an item, and it's perfectly fine and fun and a jolly good time. But on the 64, which is what I'm playing on, technically the 64 version of the game on the Switch, it's a little bit more annoying. So, we use our hook shot to bust open the switch, showing us that that's the only item we can use while underwater. And this is the gate to the water temple, the most infamous dungeon in the entire game. So, let's hurry on in.